Good morning. Welcome back to my channel, The Brokenhearted Homesteader. And this morning I thought I would bring you along as I made breakfast so you could see how we cook on the homestead. So we're going to make some eggs this morning and I'm going to make some tea. So let's get started. So our first thing is we need to light the fire. So on the homestead, I try to reuse and recycle as much as I possibly can. So in the fireplace, we already have like cups from Panera and junk mail is in here. And during the day, as I'm finishing with things, I just put them in here so that they'll be ready to go when I want to start a fire. So I'm going to use, I found this thing on Amazon. It's electric lighter for candles and things. So you can just recharge it. And so I use my solar power bank to just charge it. And it was super, super cheap. And it seems to work fairly well. So that's what I normally do. So we just start it up here. And we catch flame. And see, we'll get a flame started here. And we'll stick it in. And hopefully that will catch the rest of the stuff in there on fire. And that will get us going. Yep, it's going good in there now. So, while that gets going, I'm going to add a few more things. Some more cardboard I had lying around. Okay. I'm going to get that going in there. And then we'll add our wood in a minute. All right. And oftentimes, when I'm walking, I see people have thrown away cardboard boxes, and I'll just bring them home and tear them up for this purpose. So we've got a little bit of a fire going in there, so we're going to start adding scraps of wood. A lot of these were given to me, but you can find them fairly easily on the side of the road sometimes too. Another good thing is if you get mulch, like I've mentioned before, from chipdrop.com, then in the mulch there's a lot of these stick type materials, which are really great for your fire in the morning. So the first thing we're doing with our fire this morning is making some tea. So I have my kettle here, and it's going to get hot. Once we get this thing going well. I think we can do that other big piece of wood there. Now, we'll add a few more sticks on top to help encourage it to really get going. And I've really been practicing how to get a fire to restart from Ember. So I think it's a fun skill to have. And most of the time I can get it. And that's another thing I wanted to share, because if I had been doing all of this 6 months ago, my lungs and my heart wouldn't have been strong enough to do this. So again, a huge shout out to the Home Rehabilitation Network. They are a network of therapists, both for lungs and for cardio. So they do rehab over Zoom. And so you don't even have to leave your home. But their rehab is totally different than if you went to a traditional rehab center where you're just walking or you're biking. This is like heavy duty breathing exercises. They have a whole complete online program, videos that are extremely well done, and I highly, highly recommend it. So I would not have had the lung capacity after my surgery because my lungs were so diminished and damaged from the heart surgery. So I wouldn't have been able to have the strength to blow enough air into the fire to stoke it back up again. So this fire will go out eventually, this morning, but it will stay hot and have embers. So later this afternoon, when I want to make more tea or cook something for dinner, then I can normally blow enough on the embers to get a fire started again just from the embers here. So as you can see, we've got a very good fire started here now. Ooh, it's getting hot. See? We have our water heating up. So I don't need to add too much more starter material. Now I want to focus on bigger burnable material. So another thing, as I've been moving onto the homestead, I've been trying to declutter things. So if there's anything that I could recycle and burn in the fireplace, I do that as well. So for now, we're just going to stick with wood and get that going in there pretty hot so that kettle will heat up fast. And then while the kettle is getting hot, I have already got my tea container. I use just a mason jar, and so this is green tea. I have met a wonderful lady, a fellow Canadian, who lives here in Tarpon Springs, and she is a nurse, but she knows so much about acupuncture and Jinshin Jitsu, balancing your body's energy. And so she told me about a book about eating and living right for your blood type, and it has all the foods based on your blood type. So one of the things it says that's not great for my blood type is to be drinking coffee or black tea. It's much more beneficial if I can drink green tea. So that's one change that I have made, to try to drink only green tea in the morning and actually throughout the day, because I do go to Panera, and at Panera I have started just getting the tea bags. They have the green tea there, and then I just fill up my thermos with ice so I could have iced tea in the afternoon if I wanted some, but just ice. I've been trying hard to be a little healthier and not get soda or anything like that, or even the charged lemonades, which have so much sugar in them. So this seems to be going well. Our water should be boiling pretty soon. So in the meantime, let's get ready to cook the eggs next. So normally when I cook eggs, I use tin foil, so don't judge. Normally it gets reused a couple of times. I know it's not the greatest for healthy cooking, but it's what works for me on the homestead at this moment. That fire is really roaring now. Really roaring. Let me show you in there. See, we got a good fire going in there now. So we should have quick work of that water. And we'll be ready for tea in just a second. All right. So we're getting ready for eggs next. So I just make a little envelope out of the tin foil because I want to be able to flip the eggs over easy. So if I make a little envelope here, like this, and seal up 2 of the sides, just 2, seems to work. So my eggs can't escape. There. All right, so see, it's now open here. Next, I put a little olive oil. Olive oil is another good thing for your heart. So I try to only cook with olive oil. All right, we've almost got a boil there on that water. So I just put a little olive oil down in the package, like that. And I kind of try to smash it around so that there's olive oil everywhere, so that the eggs don't stick once we get them on there, because that fire is crazy hot and they're going to want to stick to the tin foil. All right, so while we're waiting, let's check on that water. Let's see. I'm going to close the door here a little bit because that fire is crazy hot and it's already hot enough on this summer day in Florida. So we're gonna tell it to simmer down a little tiny bit. All right, so we're gonna check the water next and see where we're at. All right, pull it off the fire for a second. Have a look. No, I think it's good. All right, so now we're gonna pour it in. I don't know if you can see that or not. We'll move you over a little bit. We've got a huge fire roaring now. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna pour it in here. Okay, hot. Hold on one second. Got to get a better grip on my coffee pot here. That's gonna go in there. Okay. And then I'm going to refill the kettle with water, and we're going to get it refilled with water so that it can be hot. If we want to do dishes or anything like that, anything I need to clean, I'll have hot water for that later on. So I'm going to do that in just a second. So for now, I'm going to just stick it here, and we're going to work on eggs next. So right now, as you can see, this fire is way too hot to cook eggs. And they'll just be scorched instantaneously. So what I'm going to do is put the plate on top. This plate here. See? This will calm the fire down, and it will heat up the plate, and we can just cook on top of the plate for now till we get some simmered down on the fire. All right, so we've got our packet. We're going to put that on the fire, and we're going to open it up just a tiny bit, and we're going to slide those eggs inside. All right, so here we go. All right. There. And I've got two eggs for breakfast today. Just get them open a little bit and into the tin foil here. Okay. And we want to make sure they go down, into the pocket where they belong. My stove is on a tiny bit of an angle here, but I wanted you to be able to see what I was doing. Maybe if I bring it this way, it'll be harder for you to see, but at least we'll get it done. And another thing I do is I keep my eggshells, and when the fire dies down a little bit, I'll pop them in the fire because I can give those back to my chickens, and those will allow the chickens to have extra calcium for when they're laying eggs. Okay, get this in here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so this will keep. Let me turn you around so you can see. Here we go. Our eggs are in there cooking away. We're going to add a little spice to that. I normally do Mrs. Dash. Mrs. Dash makes a ton of salt-free seasonings, and so they are really good for people that are not supposed to have a bunch of salt. So this one is the chicken variety. Oops, a little bit stuck there. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. And a little bit of pepper. Normally I would do garlic, but I'm out of garlic, so we won't do garlic this morning. But those are looking great. Okay. And we're going to close up the tea. The tea's starting to turn green, so we know we're in business with the tea. I'm going to move the eggs around just a tad so that they cook all the way through. And normally I like easy over eggs, but I'm not a great cook at the best of times, so I'm still learning how to cook over a fire. So the eggs don't always turn out over easy like I want them, but we try. So I think it's almost time to flip them. So we're gonna show you that. So this is where that packet comes in real handy, because you already have the other side of your frying pan already, so no tools required. I just grab the edges and a quick flip and we're done. And as you can see, because I didn't use the flame, the tin foil is still pretty clean, and so I'll be able to reuse that. As long as the eggs don't stick too bad, I'll be able to reuse that tomorrow or the next day when I'm making eggs again. So this part, we only need a couple seconds because we're just doing the easy over part. And then another thing that I have been learning from my wonderful nurse friend is, and that I read in that book for your Live for Your Blood Type, is that a lot of wheat products are not so healthy for me either. So I have started eating rice cakes. So I'm going to put my eggs on rice cakes this morning and try that. I have never tried that before, but I figured I might as well give it a try. It'll be a little crunch. So I'm going to go and refill my kettle so that I can get the water ready before I lose the heat of this fire. But I just wanted to show you how I cook breakfast in the morning. As you can see, it's a little bit hot. We're already in Florida. It's the middle of the summer. Cooking on a cook stove is hot in the best of times. But that's what we have, and that's how we roll here on the homestead. So thank you so much for watching. I hope maybe you learned something this morning, and I haven't mentioned it in a while because my sunshine has been a little lacking in my own personal life, and I've been really searching to find the sunshine. However, it shone bright this morning when I woke up and has managed to penetrate my sad mama heart. And so I'm going to be looking for people that I can spread that sunshine to today, and I hope you will as well. Take care. Until next time, catch you later. Bye for now.